Mama's family.
Grab you tight,
Put it in the box!
climb into your heart and twist it.
Cowboys swings, takes right one, deep left center field. Mullins looks up, and it's out of here!
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Mets family. How we doing today? You already know it's your boy Rasheed McDonald. And the Mets are going to the National League Division Series to face the Philadelphia Phillies for the first time in franchise history. These two teams will be facing each other in the postseason series. It's never happened before. So that's going to be exciting to see these two teams going at it in a 5-game series. I wish it was a 7-game series, to be honest, because that would be a lot more entertaining. But can't complain. We got there, you know? And my message to the fans of the Phillies and anyone who's picking the Phillies and anyone who's rooting for the Phillies, I want y'all to remember something. It's hard to wake up in the morning and go to work when you're sleeping in silk sheets. They've been hibernating for a week, but they're not in the woods with Bigfoot, right? They're not with Leonardo DiCaprio and the Revenant fighting to survive. Right? So they were doing a lot of, hey, we want that bye week. So like that, we can show that, hey, just because you get a bye week doesn't mean you're going to suffer and you're going to lose and you're going to this and you're going to that. To be honest, I'm not in favor of the bye week. But I still don't think it's an excuse. If you're good teams should win. They should find ways to win. Not find excuses as to why they didn't win. And Philly has no excuse. They have to go out there and perform. That's facts. Pressure's on them. And I'm not going to sit here and say the Mets are playing with house money. But the Mets are a team with nothing to lose. But a season that was full of joy and so many memorable moments. But they are very dangerous. And if any one of you can accept that for just a second, hey, wait a minute, this team is good. They're not, let's not sleep on them. Just like the Yankees. I listen, and I'm not saying the Yankees are going to lose anything or that they should lose anything. I'm saying that their biggest wall is not there. So what I'm saying is there is no excuse for them to not win. I'm not saying that they're going to win. They can lose. Anybody can lose. Right? It's baseball. Weird things happen. That's the magic. That's the joy of it. So that's my message to the Phillies fans out there who are welcoming us Mets fans to Red October. Welcome to Red October. Let's enjoy it, baby. Let's have fun. Like I said, see you at the top. Now we're going to talk about what this win signifies for the Mets, what this win means for the New York Mets as they head over to Philly and get ready for Game 1 of the NLDS against the Philadelphia Phillies in Citizens Bank Park tomorrow afternoon. I want y'all to look at this graphic. This graphic right here says by Fox Sports, MLB, every team that has eliminated the Milwaukee Brewers from the postseason has made it to the World Series. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think this means anything because of those teams, right? Three of them lost the World Series, right? Now, when you look at the teams that did win the World Series, you look at the 2021 Atlanta Braves. That stands out to me because just like the Mets, they struggled early on and then they turned it on. The 2019 Washington Nationals, they struggled early on and then they eventually got hot, right? The 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks also struggled, and then they eventually got to the World Series, defeating the Phillies to get there. So, again, I'm going to say this with lots of respect to history and the game. I'm not falling on that. I'm not relying on that graphic to do anything for me. Because I tell you what I'm relying on to get the Mets and give us hope and continue bringing us some good love and good luck charms and whatever you want to call it. What I want to rely on is this. This is what I want to rely on because when Pete Alonso did this, right, when he had his moment.
Right field, Frelick back at the wall, out of here! It's out of here! Alonso, an opposite field home run.
That is a moment that will go down in history. These clips of Pete Alonso hitting that home run will be played over and over and over again. And to be honest with y'all, that's cinema. That's what we like to call movies. I've always said it. And anyone who's never understood me, never understood why baseball is my love, I refer you to this. Take a look.
And you think back to Pete Alonso's career with the Mets and the chance that this could be his final at-bat as a Met. The drama will build even more.
Pete, he's a power hitter, and he's just one swing away from, hit a big one.
Sets. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Pretty well hit. Frelick back at the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career. Pumps his fist as he rounds second. It's a 3-run homer. He's given the Mets a 3-2 lead. They all pour out of the dugout. Alonso on his way to home plate. Pete Alonso keeps this fairy tale season going. Swinging a ground ball base hit going into right field. A little breathing room. It is 4-2 New York. A double run. Swinging a liner toward short. Picked by Lindor on one hop. Runs to second. One throws to first. Out at first. Out at first. Put it in the box. This party is headed to Philadelphia.
All these clips that we're watching right now is the example of why it means a lot more to us. Why it means so much more to Met fans, right? Let me put a little bit of context behind it. So the Mets, in their franchise history, this is the 11th time that the team has gone to the postseason. That in itself is wild. But aside from everything, this has been one of the most entertaining, one of the best seasons I've ever had. Going to the ballpark, watching at home, making content. Anything and everything the Mets have been able to give this season supersedes a lot of the LOL Met stuff that a lot of haters and a lot of people that like to run and flap their gums. A lot of the good that the Mets have done this season supersedes a lot of those LOL moments. Because, boy, I mean, Pete Alonso and his home run was probably one of the final missing pieces to the OMG Mets. Right? One of the final, like, hey, now we got to go get the big one now. Because Severino, complete game shutout, first time in a long time. We're talking about probably since 2019. A long time. David Peterson putting up a fantastic season. Got the save last night. Right? Oh, and let's not forget Quintana. I mean, three earned runs only in his last, almost 9 games? What? Sean Manaea rediscovering what it's like to be great thanks to the likes of Chris Sale. Fixing that little arm slot going sideways. ¿Tú me entiendes? You hear me? You heard? Brandon Nimmo, walk off against Atlanta. Hits that home run against Atlanta. Hits that home run off Zach Wheeler against Philly. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Jeff McNeil hitting that ball and Liriano overruns it. Lindor against Toronto when we were getting no hit. And in the 9th, Magic. Come on, dog. Then he does it again against Philly in the 9th. After Diaz gave up the save and the Phillies take the 1-run lead. Francisco Alvarez walks it off against Anthony Santander, who practically hadn't allowed a run against the Mets in his entire career. Then they come back and do it again with Jesse Winker. JD Martinez walked off. The great Tanner Scott, who's now pitching for San Diego, walked him off. First career walk-off home run for JD Martinez. All of these OMG moments, and the biggest one yet, came at the hands of Pete Alonso. So all those clips, every single one of those clips, all that emotion, that's love. I'll tell you right now, when that home run was hit, I was immobile. I couldn't move. The emotion was pouring out. I went into hysteria. I've never experienced something like that in my entire life. That emotion in that kind of way. With the season on the line, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I ain't never felt nothing like that in my life. That was magic. Truly, truly was magic. For real. And I've seen some great walk-offs. That one wasn't a walk-off, but it was great. It was Albert Pujols hitting it off the Astros, Brad Lidge, and making that man suffer. Yeah. Now, it wasn't as prodigious. It wasn't as emphatic as Albert Pujols' home run, but dude, it didn't need to be. That was great. That was a moment. Truly was a moment. One that we'll never forget. and one that's going to propel this team forward, moving forward. Yes, the Mets will always play with pressure. It's New York. It's built in. But Philly, the world is picking them. I'll leave it with this. And I know it's been cliche, right? Especially if you're a wrestling fan, you've heard this story. Right? Loogie, WFAN, he said it as well. Said it last night. But it's true. For the Mets, it's about one thing. Finish the story. And that story is beating Philly in a rivalry matchup for the ages. And then beating LA with Ohtani versus Lindor. MVP versus MVP. Which one comes out on top? And then my hope, the New York Yankees. See you at the top, Playboy! You already know the vibes. Let's go Mets.